Fuck
refresh
you,
of
Todd Howard.
Fallout 3 or New
You
Vegas.
fucking piece of shit. Remastered the games I love. You curly-haired fuck.
And welcome to the Barely Coherent Podcast. I'm the Grizz, and your host, the only man to have gotten a draw playing Russian roulette, Sonny B, William Weisinger.
Well, what can I say? I'm lucky man.
It's weird because all the chambers were loaded, so somehow you both made it out alive.
Still here.
Yeah.
Cheers to that.
And his Russian roulette partner and our special guest, Big Mark, who you can find on TikTok and Instagram as the Huske Hokage. Thanks for joining us today.
Hey, thank you guys for having me, man. I'm excited. Happy to be here.
Yeah, we're always happy to have fellow Bears on the show. And I know no better bear to join us than the Huske Hokage.
I appreciate it.
This episode is, I will say, for our viewership, a bit more structured than most of our chaotic little outings. We are going to talk about the Game of the Year awards. And so at the time of the release of this episode, the Game of the Year award should be occurring the day afterwards. So December 7th, 7:30 Eastern time, if you'd like to catch it. If you watch TV or things of that nature. And today we're just going to get into some of the games that have come out this year, some of the things that have been nominated. I mean, as the three of us are, I would say, fairly avid gamers, I think it was a no-brainer to kind of cover this year.
Yeah, and I think we come from a perspective of a generation that's kind of seen games grow from the old, 16 and 64 bit into what we have going on now. So, it's been a wild ride. I still remember when I thought Tekken 3 looked like a movie.
Oh man. It's so crazy. You go back and you play, or if you look at some of those games that you thought looked so amazing back in the day, you look at them now, it's like, ugh.
Oh yeah.
This past Easter, we broke out the N64 and threw on some pod racing, and I could not find my way around the maps anymore. I have no idea how I discerned what was happening in that game when I was a kid.
I don't know, man. I have a PlayStation 2 still that every now and then I will fire up for some nostalgia's sake. And when I say that some of those games are just unbelievably just difficult to look at, I don't know how your eyes were able to receive that information, process it, and do anything in those games, because fuck.
That's why my vision is messed up now. Just you look at one of my first games getting on my PlayStation, which is one of the games I love, was Tomb Raider, and you look at Lara Croft then, and like literally this was the shape of her chest. This. so you look at it then and look at it like from the last Tomb Raider games, it's like, oh man, just like this. And I thought this looked real back in the day.
Yeah.
So
absolutely. With that said, let's just go ahead and jump into the nominees for Game of the Year this year, which I'll tell you guys, I was a little surprised because a lot of the nominees are what to me seem like more niche games, I guess. And I'll go ahead and read them out for you guys. So the nominees for Game of the Year this year are Alan Wake 2, Baldur's Gate 3, Marvel Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Super Mario Bros. Wonder, and The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom. So with that list given to you now, Big Mark, which of these games kind of stand out to you? Which ones have you played? Um, which ones do you think might win?
So,
What you got? What you got for me?
the only one on this list that I have played this year is Spider-Man 2. I played
Mm,
Spider-Man 2, went through platinum and everything. So, and really enjoyed the game. I know before Baldur's Gate 3 dropped, the big
mm-hmm.
thing was Tears of the Kingdom was gonna was basically was had plans basically was gonna win. That's what everybody was projecting to win this game of the year. I haven't played Tears of the Kingdom. I dabble in Zelda a little bit, but it's not like something I just gotta play when it drops. So
Right.
I was just waiting, and with Nintendo games, you can kind of like they're rarely going on sale. So it's just hey, if I'm gonna get it, I'm gonna get it. I'm gonna be paying
Right.
full price for it. So that's why I'm like, I just wait on it. Um, but I've heard really good things. Like I want to play Alan Wake 2.
Mm-hmm.
Super Mario Brothers Wonder once again can wait on. But Alan Wake 2 and Baldur's Gate 3 the only other games really I actually want to play and try out. But
Okay.
like I said, Spider-Man 2 was amazing. As far as being game of the year, being nominated, I can see it being nominated. As far as winning, I don't think it's gonna win. The game that I honestly think that's gonna win this year is Baldur's Gate 3. Um,
Okay.
and it's just once again I haven't played it. I play D&D, so and they say it's just like D&D or similar to D&D, so I do plan on getting it. There's one game I actually want to pick up. Hopefully, I'll probably pick it around Christmas time, just when I'm off, have some time to play in it. But Baldur's Gate 3 is probably going to basically win Game of the Year this year.
Okay.
But Spider-Man 2 will actually get my vote. I really enjoyed the story. I really enjoyed their take on Venom. And what
Okay.
they did and how they, without spoiling anything, just how they introduced them and the whole story about how everything went on. I really enjoyed Spider-Man 2. That would have been my game of
Okay.
the year.
Dope. Okay. Appreciate your breakdown.
Yes, sir.
Grizz, tell me what you got. What's weighing heavy on your mind about Game of the Year nominees?
So this is my first time hearing about Super Mario Brothers Wonder. So I'm actually surprised it's even on the list because I didn't even know it was a game that existed.
It's funny. I also have not heard of Super
Yeah.
Mario Brothers Wonder,
I
so
feel like that
yeah.
might be on some Nintendo lobbying shenanigans or something.
Mm.
So I've only played 2 games off this list. That's Tears of the Kingdom, which I haven't beat. It's not that it's fun, but it being on a mobile gaming system, it's one of those that I'm waiting to play when I'm, visiting the family for the holidays and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
The game I've played the most on this list is Baldur's Gate 3, which
Okay.
I think is absolutely a fantastic game if you're a fan of D&D. It plays exactly like D&D. Um, and the chatter about it online has been nothing but positive. And when other game companies are going to come out and say that fans can't expect this to be the standard because the standard is too high, uh, I think that kind of locks it in. I think it's what should win Game of the Year, and I think it's what's probably going to win Game of the Year.
Okay.
Uh, I think a dark horse in that might be Spider-Man 2. Alan Wake 2, I haven't really seen any conversation about as far as gameplay and stuff like that. So, and Resident Evil 4 is, I mean, it's a remaster. Like they changed a lot of stuff, but it's still a
Yeah.
remaster. So that would
Yeah.
shock me if it won.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be Baldur's Gate 3.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And just to add, so with Baldur's Gate 3, the game has technically been in beta or like a open beta for like the past
Mm-hmm.
3 years.
Yep.
So they've had so much time to fine tune that game, and they did just that. Like that, Larian Studios deserves a lot of credit, man, just for the fact that the game's been out for so long, people's been playing it off and on for so many years, and like you fully release the game, and like I haven't heard any other than people saying it's turn based, and that's for people who don't play turn based. It's like I don't like it because it's turn based. Other than that, I haven't heard any negative things about it. Everybody is saying the same, like a lot of the same stuff as far as they're just having fun, being able to do so much. They say it's long as hell, but like
That is the truth.
yeah, but it said it's able to do so much, man. So, but yeah,
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, so interestingly enough, all of your assessments, I mean, the things that you guys have said, I can kind of, um, I can agree with all of that. As far as the games that have been nominated, I personally, I think this is a weak list of nominees, and I think that speaks to the year. Um, uh, so I played Alan Wake 1. I enjoyed it. I don't remember if I finished it or not. Which I know a lot of people love Alan Wake. Really big community there.
yeah,
The new Spider-Man game. Honestly, I just haven't gotten it because we just, I just had a baby, or my wife just had a baby, and buying a game that's going to kind of require me to sit down and like be involved and enjoy the narrative. That's tough for me because
yeah,
I don't like breaking up the narrative when I'm playing a game. I want to be immersed in it. I want
yeah,
to enjoy it. So I will get that game, regardless of the outcome of the Game of the Year awards. I will definitely probably play that. I mean, the first one was amazing. The DLC with Miles Morales was great, and now you're giving us a full game with
with both of them, yeah,
with both of them. Yeah, the only thing that I've heard about the game is that for the $70 price tag, it is kind of short, or it felt short for a lot of
yeah,
people.
yeah. I've
Um,
heard that as well.
and that's I think a lot of that has to do with kind of your playthrough style. Um, as far as Super Mario Brothers Wonder, never heard of it. Probably will never play it. Never been a big Super Mario fan. Like I guess like the new Super Mario games, like Super Mario Discovery, or things that have come out recently. Not really my cup of tea. Really, Nintendo anything. To
Yeah.
be
So
honest.
that Super Mario Bros. Wonder came out October 22nd or something.
Okay.
Yeah,
October
Wow.
20th.
And I heard nothing about
Yeah.
that game. So
It might be a good game. I don't know. I feel like they had like you said, it's a pretty weak field. So I feel like
yeah.
they felt like they had a slot to fill, but I'm surprised that there weren't some other games on here that people at least heard of that could have
Yeah.
filled
So
that slot.
So with that said, I played a lot of. I have like over 400 hours in Baldur's Gate 3. So um, that game I think is the closest we will ever come to really. I don't want to say like a perfect RPG, but like the best game from a major studio that we will
yeah,
ever get. And a big part of that is like, Big Mark said, is the studio took the time to take on board everything that they got from their early release, um, and they fixed bugs, they fixed narrative issues, they fixed combat issues, they fixed a ton of stuff, and they're continuing to fix things. And to me, it's a no-brainer. Uh, Baldur's Gate Game of the Year. That's my vote. Print it. Um,
But yeah, if
so yeah,
there's one
what you
lesson
got?
the studio should take, it's like Baldur's Gate 3. I remember playing Baldur's Gate 2. Baldur's Gate 3 took a long, long time to come out, and nobody complained. Nobody was like, "Oh man, this beta's been out forever. Like, when are we going to
yeah,
get the
yeah,
actual game?" Like, people are just happy to get the game, and
Hmm.
we're happy to just get a solidly built game. And so, like, we don't need the yearly releases. I don't need Modern Warfare, whatever, next year. Like, I just want.
Okay, you watch your fucking mouth, okay?
I'm,
Because I will not have you talking about my addiction like that.
they convinced you to buy a DLC at full game price. Just deal with it.
Okay, first of all, we will talk about that. I do not agree with
ooh,
that assessment, but okay.
ooh,
Uh,
Okay.
but I would rather. My whole point is, I think studios should see that, and if the game needs to take time to get
yeah,
fully
Take the
fleshed out,
time.
take the
Take
time
the
to do
time to
it.
do it.
yeah.
Agreed. 100%.
So
100%.
I mean,
The only thing is you have to worry about those. It's more so the people above the people making games that a lot of times rush those games out.
mhm.
Like the whole thing
Your
was like
shareholders.
the shareholders, CEOs. Cyberpunk 2077 is probably the best example of that. They rushed that game out, and when it first dropped, it was garbage. Not as far as like the game, the story and stuff, just or whatever. Just like a lot of the issues, bugs, things like that. But shout out to CD Projekt Red for actually taking the time for the developers to actually go back and fix that game and make that game an amazing game. And then they just dropped DLC.
So that's actually a good segue into the next category, what we're going to talk about for Game of the Year awards, which is the best ongoing project. And the nominees for this category are Apex Legends, Cyberpunk 2077, Final Fantasy 14, I think,
Yes,
Fortnite,
Fortnite.
and Genshin Impact. Off the bat, I mean, I'm a Cyberpunk stan. Like that, the game was dog shit at launch, and the narrative or the story for the game was good, but it was buried under so many technical issues at start that people didn't even get to enjoy it. And so, for them to say, okay, we fucked up, and then spend the time to fix the game, I mean, it's the game is great now. If you have not played Cyberpunk in what 2 years, 3 years, whenever it came,
3 years.
3 years. If you have not played it, I would highly recommend that you go back and play it. It's a phenomenal game. It's a full city. The city feels alive. There's stuff going on. You got like there's just so much to it, and you know, I fucking love it, and I think I hope they win best ongoing, which is for best ongoing. It's awarded to a game for outstanding development of an ongoing content that evolves the player's experience over time. So the other nominees in the category: Fortnite, Apex Legends, obviously, kind of constantly evolving games, new stuff being dropped all the time, new maps, events, and I mean, I can appreciate the fact that those are the kind of things that Epic Games and Respawn have been putting their time into. Super cool. Never been a huge Final Fantasy or again modern Final Fantasy fan. It seems absurd to me, but it works for somebody, and that's okay. And I have nothing on Genshin Impact because I've never heard of it. So, yeah.
So I've heard everything. I think I've dabbled a little bit in. I played a little Apex. Didn't play or hadn't played Final Fantasy. My kids play Fortnite. They love Fortnite. Not really my game, but to each their own. I've heard it, Genshin Impact. Actually played. Have it download on my mobile and it's on PS5, but I haven't actually played it. So, but the game that I have actually had some time in was Cyberpunk. I got to go back and finish it, but Cyberpunk 2077. That's what game should and needs to win this category. Like I said just a minute ago, CD Projekt Red, for them fixing this game, and even when they dropped DLC for the Phantom Liberty, they put out a new patch that included that actually added more stuff to just the base game for free. So Cyberpunk 2077 definitely needs to win this category. Like there's no discussion. Everything else, everything else is okay, but compared to what they've done to 2077, like if that game dropped the way it is now this year, it possibly more than likely would have been. It definitely would have been nominated for Game of the Year, but it would have been definitely a real discussion between that and Baldur's Gate 3. Like it would have been like a tie. Like it would have been. You would have had like a tie, a real hard tie coming.
There
into
would be
that game.
some legitimate competition in the Game of the Year category, because it seems like there's not a whole lot right now.
Nah. And my only thing with the Game of the Year, like I it's some weak games. I Super Mario Brothers Wonder, like I heard of it, haven't played. I heard good things about it, what people were saying, but personally, I think, and as much as I enjoyed and loved Starfield, I don't think it should have been nominated with the nominees. But I think Hi-Fi Rush should have been
Oh
could
yeah,
have took that place
yeah.
of that took the place in that category. You could have put Hi-Fi Rush in for Super Mario Brothers Wonder. I think that
Okay,
would be
how about that?
a little bit better
For sure.
because the way it dropped, being like a shadow drop and everything, and it being such a really really good game. I'm not big on rhythm games, but playing through that game was really fun.
Yeah.
But that's just my opinion. But yeah,
Okay. Um, what Hi-Fi Rush kind of reminds me a little bit of um
Sunset Overdrive.
what was, well, yes, but Sunset Overdrive reminded me of that. Do you remember that skating game that came out on Xbox?
Uh,
Uh,
I just had it in my head.
I, Jet Set,
Jet
uh,
Set Radio Future.
Jet Set Radio Future,
I love that
a
game.
classic game, a classic Xbox original game,
Capcom
which
remastered.
I think really gave Sunset Overdrive the feet to run, and then with the new game, just
Hi-Fi Rush.
yeah, Hi-Fi Rush being able to build on that even more is, I mean, it's they're not exactly the same, but they have the same feel to them, and so that's I like that.
Yeah.
Grizz, what do you got for
So I'm
best ongoing?
definitely
Well, yeah,
we're you know
I,
my opinion on Cyberpunk
I do.
2077. So just to keep piling on, it went from my like most disappointed game of the year to one of my favorite games of all time. I
Hmm.
absolutely love this game. It made me more upset once it became playable because you could see the amount of love and detail that they put in with getting all the bands that they got together to do the soundtrack, getting an actual band to
Yes,
perform the
man.
standardized
Yes.
stuff, which is the band Refused, which I've been a huge fan of for a very long time. And just the story, all the little pieces of lore in there, like it's a very well fleshed out, fun, fun game. And they didn't just keep like the hype going with fixing it. You know, they released Edge Runners, and how many video games have a successful like animated or just like television property
Yeah,
associated with it? And you could argue Edge
definitely
Runners
Halo,
is
right?
more popular. Yeah, right. Yep. Don't remind me. How dare you show his face? Uh, but it's, and I would argue Edge Runners is more popular than the game itself. But I personally think that just it sends a good signal, and just how good the game is now with all the patches they dropped with the DLC. It should be
Oh, dude,
Cyberpunk.
it's
Um,
amazing. It's a
yeah,
full game.
Yes.
It's
uh, I've
yeah.
played a little bit of Apex, and I've watched children play Fortnite. Um,
Same.
yeah.
Same.
Um, the only reason I think Cyberpunk might not win is either it's just because of like how much in the social consciousness Fortnite is.
Yeah.
Yeah, I can see that.
It's such a popular game. And then Apex Legends with esports. I think it should be Cyberpunk. That's my vote to win.
Yeah.
But I think if there are two games that might edge it out, it's going to be those other two, just because socially they're way more popular, especially Fortnite. You
Well,
know,
yeah, it's hard to think of like an ongoing project um as
outside of
I
like a
mean,
live service. That's the only reason I
yeah,
think that the live service games might edge
yeah.
it out. But I think for this year, it's definitely Cyberpunk, just because of the amount of work that has continued to go into it.
And for the record, we hate live service games. I fucking hate them. I
Yeah,
hate them so much. Like a BR, yeah, I'm down with, but like um and it's a little off topic, but a game that was totally killed by live service was Ghost Recon Breakpoint.
yeah,
Yeah,
Ghost
yeah.
Recon Wildlands was a top tier single player and multiplayer game experience. Was it perfect? By no means, but it was a great game. And instead of building on that, they decided Ubisoft decided to try and throw their hat in the game for live service game because for some reason these studios I don't know who tells them this. I don't know who they crowdsource. I don't know like what think tanks they have going on, but someone somewhere said we should make this game online all the time, so it's impossible to play any other way. And I just don't do
Mr. Krabs has the answer, and it's
that.
money. One thing
Yeah,
I do want to circle back around to is like that game of the year discussion we I haven't played Hi-Fi Rush, heard nothing but great things about it.
yeah.
But I'm also surprised that instead of Mario, it wasn't like another From Software title, like Armored Core 6,
Oh yeah.
which came out to really good reviews. And I only played a little bit of it, but I really liked what I played.
Yeah.
Or even I didn't play it, but Life of Pi, just because it is that
I heard
Souls.
that was very good.
Yeah, it's a very Soulsborne style game.
Yeah.
And that's what is done well in the past. So I'm just surprised that neither of those two games were recommended in lieu of Mario,
For
just
sure. For
for
sure.
considering there was already a Nintendo game in there. But yeah,
Yeah, you know that was a little.
Yeah.
I was just shocked that they put 2 Nintendo games in, and like I said, it was Super Mario
Yeah.
Brothers Wonder coming out like in October, and already it was like, okay, this is so great, and we're gonna add it to the game. And you're like, why is this? You could have picked something else, easily something
Yeah,
else.
I mean the cutoff we talked about was November 17th for
Mhm.
games. So for those who don't know, to be nominated for any category for game of the year, your game has to come out by by on or before November 17th.
Mhm.
And so um, it's just very interesting that a game that dropped, at the end of October, the kind of, I guess it almost seems like an afterthought. Like, yeah, we'll just throw this in for one of our nominees for game of the year kind of thing. And maybe the game is great. I don't know. I really can't speak to that. I actually have a Switch. I don't know where it is. It has not been charged in probably over a year. I think we might have like Animal Crossing and some other games, but I've never been a Nintendo guy, and I
Hey,
tried. I tried. I
I
just
only play
can't get into
Nintendo for one thing, and that's Pokemon. That's the only.
yeah.
That's it.
I'm not gonna
That's
lie. I
that's
was thinking about getting a new Pokemon game.
yeah.
It was apparently pretty buggy, I guess.
It was when it first dropped. It was a lot of bugs. They put out a couple
And
patches.
not the
Right now,
Pokemon
it's
type.
yeah. Exactly. Exactly.
What? Caterpie, I choose you. I
Yeah.
said Caterpie because I only know the first 150 Pokemon.
Yeah.
They should
Yes.
have stopped there.
It's been
How many?
fun.
There's like
Look,
1,000 now.
it's like
Yeah.
1,000. It is.
Well, the
They've
people were
gotten.
like, people were
Go
upset
ahead.
because they only released like 100 of them in the game, and everybody's like, "Where's all the other ones?" They're like, "We can't
Yeah.
fit them." They're like,
Okay.
"But you're."
I guess when they moved this, one of the things like that when they dropped the last game was Sword and Shield. That's one of the biggest
Yeah.
complaints
Mhm.
people had. They called it Dexit, so it was like they don't have the full. You don't have yeah, well, Sword and Shield was the one. It was Scarlet and Violet's one that came out. They had the real bad issues,
Oh,
the real
okay.
bug. They had the bugs or what have you.
Mhm.
But yeah, they've sent some patches in, and it's playable now. I will say one of the best features they did add are the like they call it the raids they have.
Mhm.
Oh
They're
yeah.
pretty fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, those are pretty fun.
Yeah, I mean, I'm thinking about like maybe getting. I enjoyed Pokemon. When
Yeah.
Pokemon Red and Blue came out and Yellow. So I would like to say that I feel like I'm, an OG fan. I had Pokemon cards before there were games. I had
Man,
Pokemon Stadium. It's a good
Yeah.
game. What is it? Pokemon Snap?
yes.
Yeah. Yeah.
Love
Snap
that
was the
game.
picture. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So maybe I'll get back into it. I don't know.
Throwing out the poke treats.
Ooh, I love a good Poke Treat. A Master Ball, if you will. Um,
You only get one. Don't mess around and throw it on eradicate and
I'm
have to start
fucking-
the whole game over. Get mad, you be press the button too fast, and
Oh no.
Uh,
Yeah, bro. That's
yeah.
that's some next level shit. There's actually I forget what it's called, but it's like a style of playing a Pokemon game where you have to catch the first Pokemon that you encounter on a route, and then
Nuzlocke. It's like a
yeah,
Nuzlocke.
Nuzlocke, yeah, and then if that Pokemon faints, it's essentially dead. It's actually kind of wild. I watched several videos on it. Don't know why I did, because I have no interest in doing that. But like many things, I watch videos about.
Yeah.
Um,
Hey,
You just hit that YouTube hole, man, and then
I would say that's
Ugh.
exactly what it is. You go down that rabbit hole on YouTube,
Yeah.
like literally.
It's wild. It's fucking
I
wild.
can tell you about some stuff. Just bored watching YouTube. Spent like 8 hours one day just watching YouTube, just random videos. Like, ooh, that looks
But I
interesting. And
tell
next
you,
thing you
and
know,
ugh, like growing up on the internet, we're getting off topic as usual, but like growing up on the internet, like at the ages that we are, seen some shit on the internet, man. That it just ain't right.
man,
no
yes,
one should
trust me.
no one should see. But
The
you just start clicking on
old,
things.
the old Pain Olympics.
Oh Jesus, man.
All right,
Oh.
we should get back on topic. What's the next
I
category
digress.
before we go off the rails here?
Okay, so the next category is best action / adventure. And again, I'm just not super duper impressed with the nominees, and I think it's just I don't know if it's an age thing. I'm just getting to the
Yeah.
point in age where like games just don't have the same effect that they used to. But the nominees for best action / adventure are Alan Wake 2, Spider-Man 2, Resident Evil 4, Star Wars Jedi Survivor, and then The Legend of Zelda: Tears of the Kingdom. Now, I will say that honestly, I've not played any game on this list, so I will recuse myself from making any judgments on this category, and I'll let kind of you guys tell me what you think about.
Yeah, I've only played one game on this list, and that's Tears of the Kingdom. So that's the only one, and it's a good game. It's a good game.
Okay,
I will say that, and I will give it to Nintendo. It would have been really easy for them to just have come out and made Breath of the Wild 2 and called it a day, but they did put a lot of new mechanics and stuff into Tears of the Kingdom, and it is a good game. I will not vote for Jedi Survivor because I don't have a PS5 and I bought it for PC and it didn't fucking work.
Oh, that's right. I forgot about that. That's actually the only reason I don't have that game. I just remember that. I was like, why did I not buy this game?
Yeah.
Man? I got Star Wars tattoos. Okay, like I'm in it. I'm fucking in it.
So on principle alone, I think that it should be disqualified for
Wait,
wasting.
did they fix the bugs?
I don't know. I got a refund on it.
Damn, dude.
I remember a lot of people on PC had that issue. I had that trouble with it, man. I hate
heard
that.
it's a good game. And I love Star Wars, so it is one of those like Metroidvania games where I will turn up the difficulty level on it to make it harder, which is pretty rare for me. But I think the only ones that are really in contention in this category are Legend of Zelda and Spider-Man. Spider-Man 2.
Okay, Porky Pig.
But yeah, I mean, I've only played Tears of the Kingdom, so
right.
Yeah.
What you got, Big One?
So, didn't play Tears of the Kingdom and didn't play the Resident Evil, but I did play Star Wars Jedi Survivor.
Must be nice.
And Spider-Man. So yeah, once again, I hate that. And honestly, to be honest with you, if that game didn't come out and have those difficulties or have those issues on the PC side, or just I think some people on console have ran into a few issues, but I think I picked it up day one, and I didn't have any issues with it. I played it on Xbox, but I really enjoyed it for the longest part of this year. That was high on the horse for me as game of the year for me.
And it's not even nominated, which is wild. Or maybe not wild, I guess.
But I can see why. But like I said, those difficulties, those issues, but like I really enjoyed the story. Like I'm once again not gonna spoil it. They have some different mechanics. I love how they introduce some of the some variants of the stances with the lightsaber. That was really, really cool. So once you get a chance, when you get a chance to play it, or if you get a chance to play it, I know you're gonna like that point, especially when you unlock all the lightsabers, the stances, different stances. Yeah, that was really, really fun. So we're gonna have to have that conversation of which ones you went with, or because I think you can choose up to 2 at a time. So you definitely have to have that conversation once you play. But in this category, I'm gonna go. I'm more than likely I'm going with Marvel Spider-Man 2. I think they may try to give it to Zelda, but I think Spider-Man 2 for the action adventure, just overall. Also, like I said, whenever you do get a chance to play that, like I love the new traversal of the game, like how you can traverse the city.
Oh, really?
And
I mean, it's
yes,
hard to build. It's hard to top what they had in the first Spider-Man game. I mean,
so
that was like.
let me tell you. Let me tell you right now. When I tell you, and that's the first thing I said when I got. I was like, man, like, and I wasn't gonna get it. I don't think I bought it day one, but I picked it up. I think I may have picked it up like the very next day, but it literally, I'm like, it's gonna be the same game. I was not excited for Spider-Man 2 at all, for real. When it, like I was gonna get it, but I'm like, I'm not super excited. Like how everybody was like, like I wasn't like that for. And I end up picking it up, playing it, and I don't know if this is really a spoiler. Oh, okay, I ain't gonna say it because you
No,
get
just say it. Just say it. It's fine.
okay,
It's fine.
because
The internet spoils everything for me.
well,
So
you get the wingsuits.
ooh,
So
okay,
the wingsuits make a big difference
okay. They
in the
changed the game.
traversal.
Okay.
They change. They do. They change the game. That's why I'm like just that alone. Like I said, I ain't even talking about the story, but just that point alone in the just the traversal being like, because you swing in 1 minute and then you can flip or change and then ploop, pop out your wingsuit and you fly like a bird. You know what I'm saying? Like you, it gets
Fly like a motherfucking
fun. You
bird.
know, you have like you that part of it really made it made the traversal fun, and then you do get to a point where you can do you unlock the fast travel, and when I tell you, you click on it and it starts moving, and then it switches to you swinging in, like it's like that.
Oh.
So
you know what's
shout
funny
out
though?
to
You know what's funny though? There was fast travel in the first Spider-Man game. I never used it. Not one time.
No, because
I just
traversal
slung
is
my
so
ass
fun.
through fucking New York.
Yes. Yes. And see, I've used it like when I got to the end of the game, it was just some things I wanted, like I was trying to finish up real quick.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why I was using. But for the most part, I'm swinging around, bro. Like
I'm
I was
swinging,
George of the
baby.
Jungle.
I'm swinging. I'm fucking Spider-Man, yo.
Exactly. Oh man, and the suits. I'm gonna. That's it. I'm gonna say this. I'm leaving it after that.
Dude,
But Spider-Man 2.
Don't make me go out and buy the fucking game today.
And this isn't really like a spoiler, but the one thing I've seen, the only complaint about the suits that I've seen is Miles' suit. That is
that
like,
one suit with the hair sticking out.
Look, it's to be honest, it's an it's an Adidas thing or whatever, but it really wasn't that bad. But my favorite suit. So let me say it. I'm not gonna say nothing. I'm not gonna say nothing. I don't want to spoil it because it's like 2 suits in there that Miles gets. Like Peter gets some dope suits as well, like he does. But like there's 2 suits that Miles get that was like I was like yes. So when I got it, I was like hold up, is that shit? Like, so yeah.
All right,
bro. Okay, all right, shit, man. You fuck around. You didn't sold me on Spider-Man 2. I mean, I was thinking about getting it anyway.
And to be honest with you, if you looked in like the Zoo Crew Discord, you might have already seen it. Did I put it in there? Yeah, I did. You probably, if you looked in there, it was in there. I posted it in there. So one of the suits anyway.
Okay, bet. I'm gonna check it out. Shit.
Yeah.
All right. So I think we've clearly established that Spider-Man 2 probably the front runner for the action adventure game. Yes. Now let's talk about a category that really is more of a service to you, Big Mark, because I can honestly say I think the only fighting game that I played in recent history was Mortal Kombat X or 10 or whatever the fuck it was supposed to be.
It was
I don't know.
Skullgirls for me because they have it on mobile.
It was what?
Skullgirls.
Okay.
It's an actual fighting game.
No, I didn't say it
Yeah.
wasn't. I didn't say it wasn't.
It's big
But,
on TikTok right now for some reason.
Lovely. So the new Mortal Kombat came out, and that is one of the nominees for best fighting game. But I mean, the rest of these games, I really got nothing for. Have you played like God of Rock, Nickelodeon All Star Brawl 2?
I didn't know there was a one
nominee.
So
Or
I played one.
Pocket Bravery is another. Is the other one.
That's all those mobile games. So to be honest with you, I haven't heard of Pocket Bravery or God of Rock. I'm not sure if those are mobile games or not.
They kind of look like mobile games,
but yeah,
they do. They kind of do. Actually, so this year, to be honest with you, I haven't actually touched a fighter game. I played a little bit of Street Fighter 6.
Okay.
But I haven't actually, because it was one game I was looking at getting, but I just been so busy with everything else. But and I was waiting on Chris about Mortal Kombat 1, so that's the only reason
See, I'm always waiting on Chris. Chris, if you listen to this, we always waiting on you, man. Always,
man.
I don't even know who you are, and I'm waiting on you.
But if I had to pick just looking at them, Mortal Kombat 1 was really good. I know a lot of people didn't. Some people were kind of thrown back of how they introduced like the what is it, I can't think of the name of it, where basically like the help character or whatever, where you can call in and do a move or whatever.
Oh
like,
yeah,
which they have them like if you play Marvel vs. Capcom or the assist character, if you've played any of those like Marvel vs. Capcom characters or whatever games like that, you kind of used to them. I played them, so but I haven't played Mortal Kombat 1. But I was leaning towards Street Fighter, man.
I heard
that.
I heard it was good. The Street Fighter 6 was like a return to form for Street Fighter.
Yeah.
I played Street Fighter 4 quite a bit. Didn't play. I think there's 2 in between this. I don't remember honestly, but I heard 6 was really really good.
Yeah, I did as well.
The only reason Mortal Kombat might win is just recency bias, because it came out so much later than Street Fighter 6. They added Omni-Man to it.
Yeah, Omni-Man and what we call it,
it's like $40 for that pack for those 3 characters.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I'll tell you why I didn't. So I actually enjoyed Mortal Kombat X, whatever the fuck it was.
Yeah.
But they then released like what essentially amounted to DLC for that as a full game. And then they released this game after that. And for me, that was like, because they like released new characters and like a little bit like add-ons to the story or something like that.
Yeah.
That was like, they wrapped it up. And so basically it seems like Mortal Kombat 1 is like a reboot of really the whole kind of universe type deal. So I'm thinking about getting into it. I just don't want to pay a ton of money for it, so I'm probably just gonna wait until it's on sale, because that's what responsible adults do, right?
Exactly. That's what I recommend. Like, look, as much as I love games, as much as I would like to pick up just about every game that drops, I'm a husband. I'm a dad. Like I don't have the time. I work, you know what I'm saying? I don't have the time. So I pick and choose what I want to spend my money on. Right. Anything else I'll catch when it goes on sale. Nothing wrong with that. Developers still get some money. But like you, I accept Street Fighter 6. Personally, I was waiting on Tekken 8 to drop. I know that comes out next year, first part of next year. So I was actually waiting on that one. But I will say Nickelodeon Brawl, the first one was fun for like, it was like that what's the it's a juicy fruit or big, like it was fun for maybe like 30 minutes, 30 minutes or an hour.
The zebra gum.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like once all the flavors gone, it's like literally like you could play every character in an hour. That was the first one. The second one, surprisingly, they have upped it a little bit, and people say it's really good. It's really fun. They made like the bad guy from Danny Phantom is the big bad in the game.
Okay.
So they've added some stuff. So it's something It's something I'm probably gonna end up getting my kids, and I'll play it with them. Of course, I'm gonna wait till it goes on sale again. But yeah,
I'm looking at it. I'm looking at it right now, like the picture on here.
Yeah.
And the one thing that might convince me to get this is I'm seeing Rocco from Rocco Modern's Life as a character on there.
Oh, our favorite sex phone operator.
Yeah, just be a wallaby going around just whooping it.
So yeah, I mean, I think so. I love a good fighting game. I played Injustice.
Yeah.
I played Injustice 2. Two of the best fighting games I think to come out in a long time. Like I said, Street Fighter, Tekken. I played it all. I don't know. It seems like probably Mortal Kombat's gonna win. They are putting the time in. It's a really clean and polished game. It has a story from what I've seen. I don't know. I mean, who's to say? Also, I could just buy it before the Game Awards, just so we're clear. I mean, this is gonna come out. I still got a whole week to play stuff, so we'll see. I don't know.
Don't wait till it goes on sale.
That was a lie. That was a blatant lie, and I'm sorry. As soon as the words left my mouth, I knew it was not true.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be one of those dudes that wait for it to come out on Switch just so I can sit there and just like in an airport somewhere and just play.
Oh, look! Don't you waiting for it to come out on Switch?
Mortal
Kombat.
It's already on Switch.
Is it?
And it's terrible. Yes. You did not see?
No, I didn't see that.
Listen to me. Look, I got the mic. Listen to me. Do not. I repeat. Do not buy that on Switch.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
When I tell you, I have a TikTok on this. Like, go check out my TikToks. Like I did a gaming news and update on this where Mortal Kombat 1 on Switch was running some of the stuff that some of the images you saw or some of the stuff that was going on in that game on Switch, it was terrible. And then they were charging people $70 for it. Like,
Bro, that's the whole thing with games right now is that they cost so much, and I feel like they should cost less, right? Like if I'm buying only digital games, why do they cost more? Why do they cost the same as a physical copy? You don't have to pay for distribution. You don't have to pay for the physical creation of a disc or like the box that it comes. Like you don't have to pay for any of that shit. I mean, you got to think like when a company decides to sell a product, they take into account like how much it costs to like how much gas costs, how much freight costs, how much like storage in warehouses costs, how much the warehouse rent costs, how much like all this stuff that does not have to be paid for. We have digital games. Why am I still paying $70 for games? That is my rant. I'm done. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk.
Yeah, I see the TikTok right now. I just followed you.
I appreciate it.
Hey, look at that. Get a new follower. You're welcome.
Yeah. Look at that. I appreciate it.
You did talk me out of getting into Twitch, so
yeah, please don't. Please.
You know,
please
you're talking me out of anger. You're talking me out of like sincere want for my well-being, and I appreciate that.
Yes. Yes. You. Yeah. When your Johnny Cage looks like the B movie of Dead or Alive or something like it's don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it.
Duly noted.
But yeah. So just on your TED Talk and your rant there, I completely agree with you, but I also see where I think where the increase may be coming. Well, why there's an increase or has been increased because games went from like $60 to $70 over the past 4 to 5 years, and I just think it's because of how big games are getting. You look at the consoles and the PCs now. Like you having that. You got a lot of people want 60 frames per second. You want this, all this in the game. Things, just stuff like that. Now, granted, it should be there. However, I understand, that they are why stuff went up. But I think that's also why we're getting more studios or whatever or developers are going more towards or trying to do more games as a service, those live service games, so they can generate more
revenue.
more money. Yeah, because everything's about you don't want to put out a big game and then stuff it with like microtransactions, you know what I'm saying, galore or whatever. Now, I'm gonna say this. Maybe a hot take, however, I'm okay with microtransactions long as it's not pay to win type of microtransactions. Like
Yeah.
you give me microtransactions like with Call of Duty. You give me skins. It's not that doesn't guarantee me a win. You give me the spawn skin or in a battle pass or whatever for $20. That's fine. I'll pay for that. I'm gonna get the skin. I'm buying skins, stuff like that. I'm okay with. But if I'm paying like $20 and I'm gonna be able to beat 90% of the people I play against,
I'll give you
like
the example is like when you have a character skin that is like you have to purchase or that's in a battle pass and it gives an advantage. And the prime example of that right now in Call of Duty is there is a skin that is like I think it's called
Groot.
Gaia. Yeah, and they call it the Groot skin. And this skin is so fucking hard to see. I'm speaking. We're not talking about like videos I saw. We're not talking about I'm talking about real life experience. I've been playing, and I might not be the best person in the world, but I know for a fact I cannot see someone. Like if I kick in a door to a room and I shoot one person and he's done, and I sweep the room and there's no one else there, and then from the corner of the room this little fucking stick thing starts shooting me, like that's fucked up, bro. And then for Infinity Ward or Ravensoft or whoever the fuck is in charge of Call of Duty, to be like, we fixed it, and all they did was make it glow a little bit more. I still can't fucking see that thing in game. Why have you not fixed this? Why have you not fixed this? This is blatant pay to win. Like, that's crazy. It's the same thing that happened. There was like skins that were like invisible. The Rose skin. We all remember the Rose skin saga where the bitch was black as fuck. It was like goddamn darkness. It's a goddamn shadow in a fucking room.
Darkness, everybody.
You know what I'm saying? Darkness. Fucking Eddie Murphy in this bitch. And like we had to complain and complain and complain and complain and complain. And they finally made the skin like gray, light gray or whatever. But like shit like that is like crazy, like pay to win stuff. I don't know. So I get what you're saying, Big Mark. Yeah. Like I fuck with microtransactions. Look, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm a spender. I know it. My wife knows it.
Yeah.
Like
your bank account
knows
it.
Yeah,
exactly.
Right? Like,
it knows a little too much.
I guess what? I'm gonna buy them. I'm gonna buy them skins. I like skins. So I like buying shit. So,
the moment I became okay with microtransactions, and I know you experienced this with me, Sonny, and that was playing Grand Theft Auto 5 online, run around the world and getting fucking wrecked by some kid, and I get to pull my adult money
and
out.
We were like
$100 on shark cards.
Hey, I ain't mad. That is money well fucking spent. I don't give a fuck, dog.
Listen to me. Listen to me.
Just hearing the voice. You only killed me because you have money. Yeah, welcome to the
real
world.
You damn right, bitch.
Facts. I'm with you on all of that. Facts. When I tell you, hey, the first time I remember playing online and just doing, going through my normal stuff, trying to do stuff, just gaining money a little every now and again. Then somebody rolls up on me in one of those. This was like in the early on where they flew past me on a. I can't think of the name, violators or whatever they're called, but it's the
motorcycle that flies.
Yeah, so it has a rocket on it. It just blew me. I'm like, what the fuck is that?
You ever been hit by C4 at Mach 4, bitch? Well, speaking of Grand Theft Auto, I think we might get a Grand Theft Auto 6 announcement at some point between now and the year 2025. So that's super exciting.
No, we're getting. I'm pretty sure they're gonna. So they did confirm we're getting a trailer in December.
If they don't,
more than likely.
If they don't, man, they're gonna burn their studio down. I don't know what to tell them.
They have literally They have milked dry the teats of Grand Theft Auto 5.
Bro, it's wild.
It is a skinny husky cow just waiting to die out on the farm right now. Like
what pisses
just
me
need
off
to come out with something else.
Is that they gave up on Red Dead Redemption Online. They just
they did.
They gave the axe for Grand Theft Auto 5.
That was another one where we were like, hey, the guns in Grand Theft Auto or in Red Dead Online are way too expensive. Like it takes forever to make the money. They're like, oh, we'll make it cheaper, and they dropped by like a couple cents. We're like, man,
Yeah,
fuck you.
it's fucked up. That was that was they were on some other shit.
Look,
They didn't want people to
yes.
play that game.
No,
I'm convinced.
It-
I'm convinced they didn't want people to play that shit.
and all the main reason why I got that online was because I thought that they were going to release like an online zombies mode, and they never did.
Oh, that would have been.
Man,
Bro,
that
there's
would've
so
been
much
so
they could
dope.
have done. Yeah, there was so
And
much.
and I guess because it was, and my thing was like, and I can understand like because with Grand Theft Auto being kind of modern day, you can include you got flying cars and motorcycles and
Yeah.
jets, helicopters, stuff like that, and you really can't do that in
There's
Red
a limit.
Dead. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Like you may be able to bust out one of those old. You add one of those old school 18, whatever the very first car or something like that. Maybe just something. It's just
the
what I'm
Model
saying. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. You can might be able to throw that in there, but but I still think they should have invested more time into that game, man. There's a lot of people that really enjoyed that. Enjoyed Red Dead Online, man. It was fun. I played a little.
Yeah, the biggest issue with Red Dead Online, I think, was the griefers. It was just so hard to play the game without running into somebody whose only goal in the game was to just ruin your experience of the game. And then there was no kind of like recourse for that. There was nothing from Rockstar that was like, okay, we're gonna try and put a stop to griefers, or we're gonna make servers for people who only want to do story. Like there was nothing. There was just really no support at all from Rockstar on that. So yeah.
What it needed to be was just needed to be like heists. Like it needed just to be you and your posse doing heists online.
We could have been doing, bro.
That would have been dope.
Yeah. Western heist, bro.
That's all I wanted to do. That's all I wanted to do was
that's it. That's it. Oh, that would have been being able to just, like I said, rob a bank, rob a couple of banks, rob some trains. Like,
go back to your hideout.
That's it. Yeah. That's it. One of my friends had like
bro, they could have put classic like cowboy skins, like cowboy movie skins in the game. Like
it would have been so dope.
Look, we just made the game great, and we've been talking about it for 6 minutes. Rockstar has no excuse.
Yeah,
they just don't care. Fucking suck.
Look at what they did with the San Andreas, relaunch. All right, we want to move on to the next topic.
So we're gonna talk about best RPG, but I'm pretty sure, I think all three of us could probably agree that Baldur's Gate 3 is gonna beat whatever else is in that fucking category.
Starfield is also nominated, and Starfield would have been look. I have enjoyed playing Starfield, but it would have been a good game if it came out 5 years ago.
And that's somebody else said that, and I completely. So Starfield was my first real dive into Bethesda game. Like I dabbled in some of this. I dabbled in Fallout. Played a little bit of I haven't actually played Skyrim, but dabbled in Fallout, but never really just dove all the way in. Playing Starfield, really literally. So I invested I looked at my time the other day. I had 10 days in Starfield.
Jesus Christ!
When I tell you, I would just come home. I didn't even realize just come home.
You just in space working, bro. What the fuck?
just doing crazy stuff, man. It was. I enjoyed the hell out of that game, and
really? So that's good. That's what you want to hear about a game, right?
And when I tell you, I understand why it's not nominated for Game of the Year, but I can also see why it should be nominated for Game of the Year. I was looking at somebody online. They're on their 33rd new game plus of Starfield. And they said they ran into, and then they said they ran into their own character in the new game, that option of new game plus. Yes. I'm looking like this can't be real. He posted the video of the interaction. I was like, wow. So, and that's why, I once again, I get why it's not nominated, but also I get why it could be. Like I said, Baldur's Gate 3 is going to win this category.
Oh, for sure.
But
I think
and
if we're being honest, Baldur's Gate is probably going to win everything this year.
It should.
It's more than likely is. And I will say this: had Starfield came out the year it was supposed to come out, or Baldur's Gate 3 not come out this year, Starfield would be it would honestly be a better game.
I think it would have conversation.
Yeah, we're having a different conversation behind it. But like I said, I think Starfield was supposed to come out either last year. I think it was last year. It was supposed to come out. Had it dropped last year, it would have been up there with Elden Ring as a game. One of the big things for Game of the Year.
Honestly, it would not have beat Elden Ring. Oh, you know
what?
No,
I don't think it would have beat Elden Ring, but it would have been nominated at least. I think.
Let's hold on. Let's talk about last year's Game of the Year awards. So just quick, so last year's nominees were Plague, whatever the Plague something.
Plague Tale Requiem.
Yeah, it was a good
game. Elden Ring, God of War Ragnarok, Horizon Forbidden West, Stray, and Xenoblade. Now, I've never been a fan of the Xenoblade series. I heard it's really good. It's not that I don't like it. It's just not my cup of tea. That's fine. I get that. Stray, I get it.
It was a fun game. It was actually my favorite game of last year, but it's not Game of the Year.
It's not Game of the Year.
It shouldn't have been nominated. It should not have been nominated. I was like, really? They just wanted the indie to put up there, and they put that indie up there last year, but won't put one of. You got Cocoon, Sea of Stars, and a couple other indies that were like really good, and a lot of people were really talking about. Neither one of those got nominated for Game of the Year this year, but you put Stray up there last year.
You also had was a Tale of Two Brothers, which was amazing.
Is it Tale of Two Brothers?
Is
that the one?
That's the one where you control each character with a different thumbstick, and you have to work together.
Yes,
that's a really good story. But that's what I'm saying. Like,
there are a lot of good games out there, indie games out there that were like better stories. I think that Stray was kind of one of those things that like public. I don't want to say public outcry. I don't know what the word is, but like it was popular for being a cat because everyone likes cats. Not everyone, but most people like cats, and it rode that really well. I think
it did. But if I have to like one thing that Stray does do very well is like building its atmosphere and understanding that like less is more. You focus on what the core game's supposed to be, and they didn't try to attach on a bunch of other bullshit to it to like look at all this. Like, it's a game about a cat trying to survive in this like post-apocalyptic kind of cyberpunk world. And it's adventure game.
Because it's all robots, right?
Yeah, it's all robots, and then this like it's basically the Flood from Halo running around in it. But it understood what it was trying to do, and it stuck to that. But yeah, and definitely you got to play as a cat.
So as far as Stray, not me, but okay.
As somebody
Horizon
who
Forbidden West
nominated,
right? There were other indie games that could have been a better choice there. We can agree on that. Horizon Forbidden West. My issue with this game was that it felt too big, which means that the world was too empty. And I think the story of Horizon is a very unique and interesting story, and I enjoyed it. And if you play through it and you played the story, hopefully the next game will be like really interesting. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see where it goes, but I think that it had roughly the same fucking mechanics as Horizon Zero Dawn. There wasn't a lot of new stuff there. So Game of the Year material, I don't know. Plague, like I said, I heard it was an amazing game, very unique story, very very well told story. So good contender. God of War Ragnarok. I don't think God of War Ragnarok in terms of gameplay was better than the first game, but I think in story it was full of story. The characters were interesting. It was very fleshed out. You could tell that Santa Monica Studios put a lot of love and care into that game. Um, with all of that said, from what I saw of Elden Ring, great game, very cool. To me, when we're talking about the best game of the year in basically fulfilling all categories, uh, I do not think Elden Ring was game of the year material. I mean, the year prior was did God of no the year prior was Red Dead
Was it take?
Redemption. Red Dead
But
Redemption. No, Red Dead
it was
Redemption One in 2019.
what was I think that was the year prior was what it was that EA game Take Two. Was
Oh
it
yeah,
two? It
the
takes
the
two.
prisoners.
No, it wasn't the puppets. Were the
Oh yes, 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 yes,
yeah,
yes.
it
It
takes
takes
two.
two.
Yeah,
It takes two.
yeah.
Yes. So like you're talking like a very unique gaming experience.
Mm-hmm.
When you're talking about game of the year, you're talking about it does everything well. Like it's like it's the tippy top, right? Like Baldur's Gate 3 is probably going to win game of the year this year, right? Because it is unique in the story that it's telling, the gameplay
Mm-hmm.
mechanics that it's provided. It's I mean, from top to bottom, Baldur's Gate 3, phenomenal game. Elden Ring, it's a Dark Souls game. It's a and that's great, and I understand that people enjoy that, but I don't think that it's game of the year material.
Here's my problem with Elden Ring. And it's a very simple problem. George R. Martin took time to write the lore for that game instead of fucking finishing the Game of Thrones book series.
Yeah,
Come on,
yeah.
bro.
I'm
Like,
watching House of the
I know,
Dragon right now,
I know it
and I'm
upsets
like,
him, but
oh,
you've only got so much time on this earth left, man.
finish the
Don't
Right.
fucking books.
don't let your legacy be that you never finish these goddamn books.
And I don't. You know what? I haven't paid attention to it because of the simple fact the show ended. The you know the Game of Thrones ended.
Hmm.
And it was like I kind of just like he finished the books. He'll finish them, and then maybe I'll maybe I'll get them on audiobook because I'm not gonna lie and say I'm gonna read them. I'm not. I'll audiobook the hell out of it though. I'll go get it on audio,
Might
but
take
I'll
me
sit there and
14
listen to
years to finish it
Yeah.
because I gotta listen to it on
yes,
car ride to work.
yes,
But that's not the fucking point. The
exactly.
point
I
still
did it. I
remains:
heard. I know it.
It's
finish the
weird that
fucking books, George.
it's weird that they never did the last season of the show. That's weird they never did a season 8.
We could have a whole episode about Game of Thrones.
Uh,
If you
But
can't see the
yeah, I'm not
episode,
gonna.
it's because your TV's not good enough.
oh, I forgot about that, dude. Fuck
But
those guys. The scene was the what was it? The battle of I don't know,
I know what
battle
you're
for
talking about. But
winter,
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah,
The shit that occurred in the darkest dark night of fucking ever, and it's so dark that you can't even see what's going on. And then the producers
ah,
said, "Well, if you can't see it, your TV's just not that good." Fuck you, man.
I watched it in a
Fuck you.
blacked out room in the Middle East. Like,
I was in Japan,
oh man.
but say yeah,
I couldn't see shit.
I can't see shit. So we went through all of that
I
just to
can't
say
see
that
shit in this mask.
I think the game of the year. I think we
Try to
can
do some
all
nice, and all he
agree.
was criticize.
Criticize.
I think we can all agree the masks were a good idea. Don't you ask me and mine for nothing.
All right.
Dang, bro. What a classic scene. Classic.
Yeah. All right. I think we got one category left.
Actually, yeah.
Or
So we talked about the last year's game of the year just because I would like to reiterate that I don't think that the contenders this year are super great. Last year's were, I think, better for sure. The last court category, I think that that we can cover or should cover or whatever that I care to cover, is most anticipated games coming out, and So the nominees are, again, Final Fantasy VII though this time, which is
Rebirth again, brother.
yes, it's a remake. It's a remake of a remake, right? I don't.
It's the remake, but it's part 2 of the remake because they didn't finish
Yeah,
the remake.
because yes, more monies.
Yeah,
because they want your money. They want your money.
Yes, yeah. Hades 2, which I heard Hades 1 was the first Hades game, was really good. It's similar to
It's a
what's that
roguelike.
game that came out before Baldur's Gate? Diablo 4.
yeah.
I heard it's very similar to Diablo 4. Which in other news, Diablo 4 fucked itself.
They released a season, and then when you could finish the season, you didn't get enough money to actually buy anything.
Yes, yeah. So
Yeah.
fuck them. Like a Dragon, Infinite Wealth. I'm actually probably gonna pick this game up because the Like a Dragon series is it's good, and I don't know. I'm looking for something new and exciting. The game that I'm really looking forward to is Star Wars Outlaws.
Same.
Yeah.
You know, don't get me wrong, I love Space Wizards as much as the next person, as you can see from my background. But I think that we've made it very clear that stories that don't involve Jedi end up being the most relatable and coherent stories in terms of media. So I'm really looking forward to Star Wars Outlaws. And then Tekken 8. I'm actually probably going to pick up Tekken 8 because I'm looking to get another fighting game. And why not Tekken, you know? So
Yeah.
I love that family's dysfunction, baby. Let's fucking fight about it. What do you guys got? I mean, what are you looking forward to? I mean, any games that are even just not on this list that you're pumped about, or I mean, we talked about GTA 6, which may or may not happen. I don't know. Still,
Yeah.
I think it's only
I
because
think
it
it's
hasn't been
coming.
announced. Is GTA
Yeah.
6? I think it's just because it hasn't like officially had the teaser trailer or anything.
bro, it's been 10 fucking years.
Yeah, you're telling
10
me.
years.
I think for me, out of this list, it's Star Wars Outlaws. Them canceling that last Lucas Arts project. What was it?
Man.
We were playing in the underworld.
The one that takes place in Coruscant.
Yeah.
Is it like 1313 or something
Yeah,
like that?
something
I
like
don't
that.
remember.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, I can't think of the
Yeah,
name
them
of it.
canceling
But
that
yeah.
really broke my heart because same thing. I was really looking forward to a game like that. Star Wars Outlaws, I think, is right up my alley, and I agree with you. I think the best Star Wars stories that we've told recently have been the non-Jedi Star Wars TV shows. Although Ahsoka was pretty good, but
I do love Ahsoka,
yeah,
and that's I love the Rebels crew. That's sorry.
Yeah,
So,
and then
Yeah.
Tekken 8, just for nostalgia. It's been a long time since I played a Tekken game, and I remember the feel of what a Tekken game feels like. So I think as long as
Yeah.
it can scratch that itch of that fluid combat that I want,
Mhm.
I'll be pretty happy with it. So.
Okay. What about you, Big Mark? Huske Hokage?
Same. My most out of this list, just off this list, like I said, I'm gonna get Tekken 8. That's something I do want to get back into. But out of this list, Star Wars Outlaws is like my most anticipated off this list. I am from the trailer of the gameplay they dropped, and I was just watching it then. I was excited then, so I'm really looking forward to this game. So I haven't. It's just because I'm not fatigue. It's just been let down so much. So I haven't been back like watched a lot of the shows recently. Like I haven't even watched the newest season of the latest season of Mandalorian.
You don't
But
need to.
yeah. See. But
Hey, I got
it's-
something I can say on that. I'll let you finish. Yeah.
But for like you said, I love Space Wizards and my Jedi Survivor. Cal Kestis, his story, like the story, and actually in Jedi Survivor, the story is really good.
Mhm.
They have a good story in Jedi Survivor. I personally kind of saw the twist coming, but it was still a good story. But
Some of
like I
us
said,
may
I'm also
never know, honestly.
Yeah.
But I hope Outlaws comes with, hope it has some good gameplay and a good story, man. That's what that's one that I'm looking for. So now it's 2 games that are not mentioned here that I'm also looking for. Don't know when they're coming out.
Okay.
And I don't usually get into Soulsborne's game, but Black Myth Wukong is a
Yeah, you're right.
Souls-like
right.
game that I really would like to get into.
I-
So I can't wait for that one.
I just saw a thing for that for the first time this morning.
Yeah,
Really?
yeah,
That
yeah.
did you see like because there was like a like a game. It was like gameplay.
They did a gameplay for it.
Yeah.
And you can go look them up on YouTube if you need me to. I'll send them to you. But they're really good. And the only other game
Yeah.
the other game I'm super looking forward to, which we're probably not getting until like 2025,
Mm.
and that is the Fable remake. I am a big fan
Ooh,
of Fable,
yeah.
have been,
Yeah.
and I
Damn,
can't wait to
dog.
see what they
Ooh.
do with this game. So yeah,
As long as they don't
Yeah.
oversell it again.
Oh yeah, let's not talk about that.
Hopefully they don't. I don't think they will. I don't think they see. I think with Starfield it was more so Bethesda behind it. It's Bethesda. It's a big Bethesda game. A lot of people have played Fable, but I don't think they can overhype it as much because you got to think about it with when they was hyping up Starfield. Fallout, Elder Scrolls series. Like these are the guys who
there's
made
just a
these
history
games.
with the last 2 Fable games where they kind of oversold what they were trying to do with them a little bit. I don't think it's a remake. As long as you just give me, honestly, if you just gave me Fable and new graphics, I'd be pretty fucking happy.
I mean, Fable 3 was top notch. I think.
Yeah.
I think Fable 3 was probably peak Fable. I mean, it was so Fable 2 maybe.
It was Fable 2.
I would say a lot of people go with Fable
3's upgrade level system. How you upgraded was pretty fucking whack.
Fable 3 was okay, but
yeah,
if I'm going peak, I go Fable 2. But Fable 3 was okay.
Fable 2 also had that wild storyline, where it's like you realize your evil brother was actually like, not an asshole completely.
Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, good games. I think just a lot of studios, I feel like, suffer from just not taking the time to put effort into games, and I think it shows. Gamers spend a lot of time playing games, so it's very obvious when you don't put effort into a game, you know, and that's frustrating.
We saw that with Starfield, and like the Huske Hokage said, it's a fun game. It is a good game. The way that I described it as somebody who's played a lot of Bethesda games, and like Fallout is one of my absolute favorite game series ever. It was like meeting up with an old friend, and they haven't changed at all for good and bad. So, and I think, I do think Starfield gets way too much hate, especially online right now. With some of the stuff that people
that's
are
the fun thing to do now is hate games,
but
whatever.
I think it's more comes from just people kind of over incomplete or broken games. And so now people are going to be way more critical about it than we have been in the past. And that's what I mean by it would have been good 5 years ago, is the bugs and stuff that it had would have been forgiven 5 years ago, but it's not being forgiven now. It's still a great game, and you should still definitely put your time into it. It's fun. But that's what I mean, is what it is would have been way more accepted and forgiven 5 years ago.
Okay. I'm going to do a category.
I got to ask one.
Oh, sorry. What you got?
I got a question. Have you? So they're doing. They released images from the Fallout series.
I was going to bring that up
on Amazon.
At the end, I'm super fucking excited for it because
I'm very
it looks
pumped
good.
for it.
It looks good.
The power armor.
Yeah, the
looks
power armor.
legit, dude.
And one thing that was mentioned that I noticed, the ghoul is not CGI; it's practical effects.
I saw that.
That makes me super happy.
Probably better than Halo, I think. Maybe.
Yeah.
My fingers crossed.
It seems like
don't stop doing it. Don't bring that up. Like it's
the
hopes I had for that game, for that series, man.
Yeah. Well, so Bethesda said that
it's canon.
It's canon, and they're very
involved. It's all canon.
Oh.
Yeah. which
That's
is a big
awesome.
deal. That means that they
That
like it
is.
needs to go well because it's part of their lore. It's
Yeah.
like,
Yes.
I do have a Fallout tattoo, and it's taking place on the West Coast, so I'm pretty excited.
oh, nice,
That's
dude.
awesome.
I'm pumped. What
April,
would
I think,
really
is when
get
it
me
comes out.
pumped is a new Fallout game to replace the travesty that is and was Fallout 76.
All we wanted was to be able to play Fallout with a friend, not an
That's it.
MMORPG.
Not all our friends.
A friend.
Yeah.
A friend,
Todd, I
bro.
said a friend, Todd.
Hey,
One.
Todd, you already know. Me and you, we got fucking beef for several reasons. Because if you give me Skyrim again, I'm gonna fucking lose it, bro.
Skyrim again, brother.
So
Like,
they
how many times you can
officially
release it?
announced.
It's gonna be the PlayStation 7, and it's gonna be fucking.
It'll probably literally.
Elder Scrolls
I'll say. Well, it's
5.
2023. We'll probably see the next Elder Scrolls series in it's between 2027 and 28.
Dude,
I know it's a long time away, but because
man.
they did announce they have officially started working on
You're gonna be
it.
hunkered. You're gonna be hunkered down in your bunker during World War III, downloading
Playing
the new Elder Scrolls for the
and guess what?
for the first time, along with Grand Theft Auto 6.
So okay, so what this year game wise has been the most disappointing kind of release for you? Let's hear the guests first. Huske Hokage, what do you got? And then we'll hear from the Grizz, and then I'll tell you guys what I think.
So
what game just let you down this year? You know, just shit the bed.
So let me say this. I can say it's. I can't even say, like I say, as much as I enjoy Starfield, even like I say, I had my disappointments with it. Like I wasn't one of those that were super, because once again I'm not a big Bethesda head, so I wasn't super high on it.
You
So
didn't have it all hyped up, yeah.
I didn't. It was just that, and that's probably the reason why I like it so much. It's because I wasn't super hyped for it.
Expect nothing, get everything. No, that makes
yeah,
sense.
Yeah.
Yes.
The only game I'm trying to think what that I actually I don't think there was a game that I actually played that I did that just shit the bed.
Okay.
For me. But just looking back something, because no, Hogwarts was actually okay.
It was a lot better than I thought it was going to be. The combat in that game was solid.
Yes, it was.
It was boring as fuck.
The rest of it was, but launching spells at little goblins and Crucio.
Dude, I was fucking people with no consequences, bro. I just Avada Kedavra the shit out of 6 people.
I stopped Avada Kedavra because it got boring. I got tired of killing people instantly.
I was tired of killing folk.
So, but I don't really have anything, man. I can tell you some sort of stuff that I've heard, but I haven't played. Like, what was the Lord of the Rings game? The
Golem.
The Golem game. Oh man.
Yes, money.
There was a DLC that you had to pay for that game just so that the Elvish characters would speak Elvish.
What?
Wow.
Yeah, that was a DLC you had to pay $10 for.
That is.
I also didn't play the game because it looked dumb as fuck. So
it did. It looked awful. Yeah. It had like PlayStation 2 graphics.
Yeah, it was still better than the Kong game, I guess.
Yeah.
Ooh. And they were talking about that game too. I was like, oh, yeah, that's another one. Just yeah.
What about you, Grizz? Anything disappoint you this year?
Yeah, so I didn't have high hopes for this game when it was announced and like seeing like trailers and stuff for it. It's more the studio that released it, but Redfall. So, Arcane Studios, the makers of one of my absolute favorite game series that I still replay, that I conveniently Dishonored. Thank you. The Dishonored series, 1, 2, the expansion that like tied it off nice at the end, the Death of the Outsider, just absolutely amazing game series. So I wasn't super hyped. Like, I didn't think Redfall was going to be game of the year or anything like that. But this is Arcane Studios. They have really good atmosphere and everything. And Redfall was just super disappointing. And there's a story that just came out. It's came out this year, and it already has single-digit player count on Steam. So it's a dead game, and it just sucks because I just
Yeah.
they make good games, but this
Yeah.
just hurt.
Yeah, they've since, I think, a few weeks ago or a month ago or so, they put out a patch to fix the game, fix a lot of the bugs in the game. I told myself I was gonna go try it out because I didn't touch it at all. Once again, that's another game I didn't really have a lot of hope for, because they were kind of making something that was outside of their wheelhouse. And don't get me wrong, studios can make games out of their norm, but
Yeah.
Mhm.
I was like, I don't know if I can. I don't know if that's something that it looks interesting, but I'm like, maybe when it drops, we'll wait. It's gonna be on Game Pass. I might check it out.
Yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be a great like looter shooter. But you look at some of their other stuff, like mostly Dishonored, but Deathloop, Prey, like they
Deathloop was popular, and it was kind of strange.
But they do a
yeah.
good job of creating like a really good atmosphere and like interesting game worlds. And Redfall also not being a great looter shooter, but it was just everything was just very generic, very genetic enemies. Like, there's nothing interesting about the maps, so it's just like, why did we do this? So
yeah, no, I totally get it. I mean, I really heard nothing but bad things about Redfall. So
yes.
What about
which
you,
is a
Sonny?
shame. So there was a game that came out in January. And really, like, the only reason I was kind of interested in this game is because it was supposed to be really unique in terms of like traversal and combat. And then I really like Janina Gavankar as the protagonist for the EA Battlefront 2 story.
Yeah,
A lot of people didn't like that game. I enjoyed it. It was a unique story. Whatever. So she was in this game, Forspoken, that came out in January, and it was really hyped up. And before the beginning of the year, all we had seen was kind of like pre-rendered, like cutscene kind of stuff. And then they posted, or they dropped a gameplay video, and it was like, oh no, like it was just so bad. And
I forgot Forspoken came out this year. It's so crazy.
Yeah.
Well, it dropped at the beginning of the fucking year too. So
I remember seeing a trailer, and I think it was a gameplay trailer or something like that. But they finally like released the dialogue, and it was like super fucking cringy.
Yeah, the dialogue was like not
also,
great.
if you're a modern game and one of the enemies they have me fighting out in the world's a fucking wolf, I don't know. It's modern game. Like, it's 2023. We can't come up with anything interesting than being attacked by a pack of wolves.
Why are we beating the shit out of animals still?
Yeah.
Where's PETA?
I was about to say, where's PETA? PETA.
If you're playing, if you're playing like a game,
he's fighting a chicken somewhere.
Yeah. If you're playing,
PETA.
PETA.
Love that.
I've painted myself as a rock.
I'm really, really strong. I can throw bags of grain.
I got stabbed, and the best thing I could think of was to paint myself into the scenery and hope nobody saw me.
Fucking PETA. What a stupid name. And he was a baker.
That's what I was gonna say. As a baker, they became friends because he gave her some PETA, if you know what I mean.
He gave her a piece of PETA.
Yeah.
I don't know. So, would you go to the Game Awards if you could? I mean, I know we got like really off track, but I think it'd be kind of cool, right?
Absolutely, man. That's on a kind of a bucket list of things to kind of do.
Yeah.
San Diego Comic Con, New York Comic Con,
Yeah.
like game or going to something like game related, going into the gaming industry. Even though I don't work in the gaming industry, but just being able to go and be around like content creators that I know and just being there in the atmosphere, I think it would be dope.
Like in today's world, like being a content creator is enough. And no, hey, I actually like the creator, but if Straw Hat Goofy can get into all them fucking red carpets events
Yeah.
because he's a content creator, you
I
could
think something
definitely.
happened, like with Straw Hat. Like he's like there was some like
Him,
drama that
him,
occurred.
and well, I know him and one of another like a comic, King Lion. Him and King Lion got
Yeah, they
into
were
it.
beefing, but like
Oh man,
no, there was like well, first of all, I don't like King Lion. I think he just an ass. Like his shtick is being an asshole, which I never really like people who are like that.
I
Um,
get it. I get it.
his knowledge is fucking top notch for sure. I respect that, but like he's just kind of an
Yeah.
unpleasant person in general. It seems like
I,
the persona he portrays. I don't
yeah.
know if he's really like that.
I'm
Yeah.
trying to remember what it was because I remember Straw
But
Hat
like
Goofy. It was one of those times when he
someone
gets
was
surprised
saying
a
that he
lot.
was like weird, like at red carpet shit, and he's like he
So
pretends like he knows people that he doesn't, and like
one of
I
the
don't know.
things that happened was during the strike. He
Yeah, I remember
Oh,
that. I
kind of
remember
put
that.
his foot in his mouth about how like he was like,
oh,
well, this is
he
like my
did.
opportunity because I'm not a
Oh,
union
he did
member.
that too.
Yeah,
Because there was that fat guy on
there was
TikTok.
he wasn't
The
as like abrupt about it. He was kind of playing it off as a joke, but people
yeah.
didn't. I don't know if
Hey,
that
people
was it,
don't
but
play
he's
on the internet,
definitely
dog. They
uh,
Mm-mm.
don't play.
he's definitely like lost popularity. But
Um,
anyway, I'm just saying, especially now that like E3 is not a like you can't buy
I
tickets for
know,
anymore
right?
for
Well,
E3.
E3 doesn't exist anymore. It's
It
not a
Yeah,
thing
doesn't
anymore.
really.
if
Well,
I could get
you
to
have.
video game, if I can get to video game awards, I would 100% do it.
Well,
Yeah, like and the fact they sell public, they do have public tickets on here. Because we talked about it before, but
yeah,
just after what happened last year, and also at Summer Game Fest. So Jeff Keighley, the guy who runs the game or hosts and runs the Game Awards, he also does Summer Game Fest or game which basically what they do is some basically like it's somewhat taking the place of E3
E3.
or
Yeah,
a little bit. It comes in or whatever. But he does that in both times. Last year, the Game Awards, some random person came off from the
came up
public,
on
walked
stage.
on
Yeah,
stage, and somebody else, another same person, Jeff Keighley, was at the game Summer Game Fest, and some idiotic person walked up on stage there as well, man. And it's like as a person who wants to go to these events, when you have people that are public, that are not in the industry, not not content creators, whatever the case may be, or whatever. But when you have people like that doing stupid, idiotic stuff like that, like it's like they're gonna ban the public from coming. Like, why would you
yeah,
do that, bro? Like, chill out. Like, it's not that serious. Like, it's really not, man. Put in if
yeah.
you
I
want
mean,
to be
you're
famous,
ruining it for everybody.
It's like
exactly.
that where they had people like throwing their cell phones at like people performing on stage. I forget what music artist it was.
Oh, I'd be so
Oh man,
fucking
it's
mad,
crazy.
bro.
Yeah, it happened like twice, and we were like, what the fuck are you doing?
That's crazy,
Like,
man.
why are you doing stupid shit like that? Like that's some make like you got, and I get it. People be like these, they chose to be this. Such as I understand they chose, but that doesn't give you the right to mistreat them or do something stupid
Mhm.
because of whatever they're in the spotlight. They're still human. They're still whatever the case may be. It doesn't give you just any to go up there or just do whatever. Like, bro, chill out. Like, it's not that serious. But
Yeah, for sure. Well, this has been a really good episode. I'd like to kind of close it out with and we've talked about this probably before, but we can keep it like short and concise and like give us a little bit. But like, what is your favorite game of all time? Um, it can be any game. I mean, like video game wise, what is the game that just like when someone says, "Hey, what game should I play?" or "What game do you love that just like really like solidified gaming for you?" What game is that for you? Grizz, what do you got? What game is that for you?
I've said this before. but Fallout New Vegas
Mhm.
is definitely that game for me. I love that game. I love that there were no good choices really in the end.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, I really do enjoy that game.
Cool.
So, and then
Husky
I
Hokage.
do. Sorry.
Oh,
For storytelling, Fable 2 deserves an honorable mention just because
okay.
that was the first game that kind of had like a twist revelation at the end that I was
Yeah.
actually like, oh shit.
So good.
Yeah.
So good.
Yes. So it would be no. I was gonna say something stupid, but no. My all time favorite game, man, hands down, is I was gonna say some shit like Anthem or something, but no.
Oh my god.
Look. It didn't have the only problem with the game. It didn't have enough content, but
Yes,
otherwise,
I
the
agree.
flying around in suits is amazing. I hope that they use it. The people that's using that's making the Iron Man game, they need to go holler at Respawn and get that from them because man.
Yes.
But favorite all time favorite game, and it's not. I say it's hard to say. It's not even close. Nothing comes close. But that's KOTOR, Star Wars: Knights of the Old Republic.
Oh
man.
yeah.
So
Okay.
like just I remember playing through that game
Yeah.
and playing through and I remember like just how I felt when the twist when you get find out who you are.
Yeah.
And just I had to pause the game and take a minute, like this whole time, bro.
It was
Like
me.
I was
I'm
mad.
the
it was
problem.
me.
It's me.
I was mad.
Basically.
I was honestly mad.
I'm actually playing through it right now.
Oh man.
Like not for the first time, playing it again.
Yeah. I so want because it came out. I forgot the name of the studios they was working on previously. It's just kind of
Raven.
It wasn't. I can't think of the name, but they were working on a remake of it, and it's just right now it's just floating in space. Like it's not canceled, but it's not being worked on. It's just out there in space, and I really hate that because that game right there, man, just like I said, I had played other games up until that, but that game right there was like my first. That's
game changer
like my
for you.
first. Yeah, it was because it was like a turn-based game outside of Pokemon, because I don't normally play turn-based games outside of Pokemon, but like turn-based game, fun, great story. It was like in a world I already loved already. I'm gonna start being a Star Wars fan since I can remember, but being able to play that and like I said, just the story and everything that went down in that game, definitely my all-time favorite. And like the Grizz just said, man.
Saber Interactive is who's still working on who's working on the remake. They, as of November 22, so last week have said they are still working on the game, but they also just put out or they also just delayed the new Warhammer 40K Space Marine 2 game.
I know I want to play that game so bad. It looks so fucking good.
I'm also a huge 40K fan because if it's nerdy and science fiction, I'm into it. But
that's right.
so that got delayed, which has put even more speculation as to whether or not the KOTOR remake will even get made.
Oh man.
Yeah. Give it to it. Look, bro, like at this point, give it to one of these studios. Give it to one of these Microsoft studios. Give it to Larian. Give it back to EA. Give it to BioWare. Look.
See, you're talking crazy right now. I'm desperate.
So maybe so, but for them all you got to do is update the graphics and like really, because you don't have to rewrite it. You don't have to change anything in the story. All you're really doing is making it look good and basically keeping the core element, maybe changing a little bit of things in the gameplay, the stuff that was like that wouldn't work now, updating some of that stuff. That's really all you're doing. But once again, we just hopefully somebody can get to it and get it out. But also, like the Grid said, a number 2 would be Fable 2. That's once again another the Fable series. Once again, yes, I don't, because that's another series that we're just playing through the first one, and then playing through the second one. It's like, oh man, I love this series. Like so, and that's a close second for me.
Okay. I like it.
The one thing they would have to change about KOTOR is that stupid ass underwater level. We were running slow as shit in the suit. That
No,
was
they
my
have to keep it for nostalgia's sake.
no. I'll rage quit again. As long as they don't give it to Square Enix, because then we'll have to get a KOTOR
Oh,
remake
man.
part 1, and then it'll be a KOTOR remake, the prequel, and then a KOTOR remake part 2.
I don't
Yeah,
need all
they
that.
really
Look,
do
give
that.
me one. Give me one. Especially since the actual movies they're supposed to be going towards the High Republic era in the movies. So
Yeah, so the High Republic, I've actually read a couple of the books.
mhm.
It's an interesting era. I think it kind of runs into a similar problem with, I guess, the current era. I don't know.
It's centered around one family.
No, not necessarily that, but like it's fucking Space Wizards, man. It's still Space Wizards.
I
it's,
get it. I get it.
it's,
But
it's
my
hard
my
to
big
relate to. It's fucking
I get it. But my problems with the newer movies has always been it's centered around just
the
like
Skywalker family. Yeah,
let's step away from the Skywalkers. Like
yeah.
the name of the last movie is the last Skywalker. When did you become how? Like
It's
I've seen the movie.
Rise of Skywalker.
Rise of Skywalker, but I'm like, how?
She's not even a Skywalker.
Somebody
She didn't even know the Skywalkers that well.
explain to me.
No, that's
How?
not true. That's not true. See, we're getting off topic. I'll just say this: Ray trained for a year with Leia on whatever fucking planet they were on. Anyway, look. Okay, so
When?
she did the. It was glossed over because of bad writing, but she
Let's not talk
trained
about
for a
that.
year with Leia.
That second movie, like,
Yes,
and I will.
we can
I still.
agree they were not good.
It was the O.J. Simpson chase in space.
But look, the fact that they teased Finn being a Jedi,
Yeah,
and we didn't get that,
yeah,
but you
yeah,
could have
yeah.
like.
Oh yeah. Trust me, there's a lot of. We can have a whole episode on why the sequel trilogy, like the list of issues. I don't think a lot of people's issues with it are legitimate. I think for a lot of people, it boils down to I don't like the hero being a woman.
Oh yeah,
Eh,
100.
But
I
also there were legitimate problems with the trilogy, behind the
yes,
scenes and on screen. So
because they
we can,
let different people direct it. Like I
yes,
just
Yeah,
yeah.
that was the start of it. Like, why would you do that? Look, I get you want to
because
give people
Marvel,
opportunities.
they were just trying to copy the Marvel formula, but didn't
You
understand why
Yeah.
the Marvel formula worked.
no, no. You let 3 different people write these movies and direct them. Like, really, really, really?
Um,
Okay,
anyway, back to
back to
It's
the
my
topic. I'm
favorite
sorry.
game of all time is
Oh yes, Sonny. What about you? What about you? Yeah,
Mass Effect 2.
Hey,
Which I've said that
not
before.
Andromeda.
I don't know what you're talking about.
you see the tease for the new one? They teasing Mass Effect.
They teased a Mass Effect 4.
What it's going to be 5 or
It's,
4? One of them. I don't.
I think. Oh, maybe it is 5. I don't know. It's supposed to follow
Are they gonna?
like similar. I don't. There's a lot of questions that need answering.
Yeah, are they gonna
My
follow
hopes are
Andromeda
not.
back?
Yeah, like did
Yeah.
Homeboy bone the robot ship thing?
Oh yeah, Joker. Joker
Yeah.
fucked the shit out of that robot. That's fucking
So I have not played Mass Effect 2 or 3.
Oh really?
Actually, I just finished Mass Effect 1 this year. I did. I got
Oh, the
the
remastered.
remaster.
The
Yes, I
remastered
beat
is
Mass.
leaps and bounds better than the original. The original is very like I love it, but it's very
Mhm.
clunky and it's very it's the user interface is not super great. So I think the remastered is a good way to go. And then Mass Effect 2. Like I said, Mass Effect 2, that's my favorite game of all time. Like the choices you have to make in that game, the characters, the gameplay is like they changed. That was like the big thing is like combat changed from Mass
Mhm.
Effect 1 to Mass Effect 2, and it was like, oh shit, this is actually like I feel like I might actually be a fucking space super soldier. I don't know. I don't know. So
Yeah, if that's
definitely.
everybody's recommendation has been, or everybody's things have been that I've heard when I told people I was playing through the series, they was like, "Man, 2 is so good. Like that's
Hmm.
clearly the best one." So like I can't wait. I can't wait to start. I'm probably gonna start it next month, but I can't wait to start that.
And then I mean I also love Fable 2, but Fallout 3 is I think an iconic game for a lot of reasons, and I love that game too, and that
Yeah,
was I mean it was
yeah.
huge, it's a huge game. So for me personally, with all
Yes.
that said,
We can release fucking we can release Skyrim a million fucking times, but we can't get a
fuck
refresh
you,
of
Todd Howard,
Fallout 3 or New
you
Vegas.
fucking piece of shit. Remastered the games I love. Curly haired fuck. I'm sorry.
I think it's in the plan. It did come out. Something did leak that they were actually working on a remaster for one of the Fallout games. I'm not sure if
it
it's
makes sense to do it. I don't know why you wouldn't. I don't
like you. That's the money. That's the money you're missing out on, man. Just do it.
Because
Give the
Fallout
people
You don't
they
even
want.
have to do anything with New Vegas. Just pay the modders for what the work they've already done.
That's true. That's true.
That's it.
Facts. Like I said, another good episode. Thanks for coming out to listen. Once again, thank you, Huske Hokage, for joining us for this episode. Check out Huske Hokage's socials, TikTok, Instagram. I don't know. People still use Twitter. I think. I don't know.
X, whatever you want to call it. Yeah.
I'm going to call it by its God-given name, okay?
I just got my
what was it?
Yeah, I just got my invite code for Blue Sky.
What the fuck is that?
I've never heard of it.
There's nobody.
It's been
That's what I learned
so many replacements. Peace. Good night.
Hit the button.